Producer, director, writer, billionaire, actor Tyler Perry is facing some backlash again. No, seriously though. This time it is for his more recent film called Straw. It is on Netflix. It stars Taraji P. Henson. I watched it. And to be fair, because I knew I was going to discuss this story on the show, I watched it twice so that I could be fair. Because you guys know, Tyler Perry gets on my nerves, and I'll explain to you why. But Brittany says, I don't care what anyone says about Tyler Perry. Straw was phenomenal. Sadly, this is so many Black women's reality. We are often not seen and expected to be strong no matter what. An amazing job was done by Taraji and Tiana. Yes, because Tiana was also, she's one of the police officers in this movie. Let me break it down, folks. I'm not going to, no spoilers here, just in case you want to watch it. But basically, to make a long story short, Taraji P. Henson's character is a single mom who has one hell of a 24 hours. Probably the worst day imaginable. Worst day imaginable. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to give too much away. Taraji P. Henson, I think, is a phenomenal actress. That's not something you can take from her. I will say she's an amazing actress. She gives it 110% every performance that I've seen her in. That being said, Straw has received, I think, about 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is good for Rotten Tomatoes because they can be pretty harsh. And this is the best performing movie that Tyler Perry has made critic-wise for Rotten Tomatoes, from what I've seen for so far. But there seems to be a divide here among the Black community where some people thought it was an amazing movie and others said they are tired of the Tyler Perry repetitive storyline. So let me dive into this just a little bit. Here's the thing. I think that if this movie had been made and we're not seeing the typical down, beaten, bruised, struggling, Black woman character, I think people feel differently. You see, the problem that Tyler Perry runs into is that his movies have become kind of predictable. Like, I already know that the female character is probably going to be going through something, whether it's physical abuse, sexual abuse, or, just in this case, there's emotional and verbal abuse towards her from her supervisor. But and some other people, I just know it. I just know it, right? At least the last couple of movies that he's been making. Now, don't get me wrong. There were some movies by him that I did like. I liked Why Did I Get Married with Janet Jackson, right? And Tyler Perry is in that movie. I actually liked Why Did I Get Married? Why Did I Get Married too? Should have just left it at Why Did I Get Married? Like that type of thing, right? I like The Family That Prays. I thought that one was pretty well written. That's kind of it. Like, I mean, it's so predictable. If you watch The Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Tyler Perry has a tendency to over exaggerate. Like, okay, her husband left her for another woman and he's dragging her out the house down the steps. It's too much sometimes. Like, it's too much to the point that I know it's a movie, but it's too much to the point where this is not realistic, right? We know in real life, nobody goes to this extreme. He overdoes it, long story short. And what you'll see, even with the movie Straw, again, Taraji P. Henson, amazing, phenomenal actress. She carries the movie. She carries the movie. Without Taraji, I don't know that this received 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. I really don't. I don't know. But it does address important issues like mental health, which, I think is also important. But what do I mean by over the top? Okay. The way that her supervisor spoke to her, to me, that just does not seem realistic. And I've had asshole bosses in my life. But again, it's like Tyler Perry had to take it and dial it up to 12, not even to 10, and make it just so ridiculous and outrageous and over the top that it doesn't feel realistic. He has a tendency to do that. It's too much. Too much. There's another part where Taraji kind of just looks up and goes, ah! And she's having one hell of a day. But again, the way that it's done, and not on her, it's just the sequence of the script. The way that it's done, it just feels over the top and it doesn't feel realistic. So that's something that he has an issue with. But then there's the characters. Now, I know some of the guys are going to tell me, hold up. Some of us dudes have been saying in the past, we didn't like the way that we were represented. The male characters were represented in his movies. I hear you. I heard you then too. I agreed. I agreed back then. I agree now. And now more people are saying they don't like the way that the women are being represented in this movie. Also, I don't know if people caught this. Did you know that Sinbad was in this movie? Yeah, that's him. I haven't seen him in a long time. It says, yes, that's the Sinbad you spotted in Tyler Perry's Straw. That's him in the movie. So I was kind of surprised that he was in that, but it's been quite a minute. But the way that the women are portrayed, let's get into it. I'm telling you, people are not happy. Tyler, they're not happy with you. Tyler Perry's Netflix drama Straw has Black internet divided. Oh boy. And there's Taraji. And again, like I said, I love Taraji. I think she's an amazing actress. I really do. I also remember, by the way, Tyler, you don't get a pass. I still remember the mistreatment that you did towards the cast of The Color Purple, the remake of The Color Purple. I still remember what you and Oprah did, mistreating the cast, not giving them adequate, the right food that they should have. They don't have like proper trailers and all that stuff. I still remember you and Oprah are billionaires. You guys can afford to do better. Like I said, there's no such thing as a good billionaire, right? I see someone in the chat mention Monique. Yeah, right. So let's get into it, folks. What are people mad about? Tyler Perry won the weekend with his Netflix film Straw, the latest project to come out of his multi-year first look deal with the streamer. The emotional drama written, directed, and produced by Perry says Taraji P. Henson as Janaya, a struggling single mother who finds herself at the end of her rope after a series of devastating events make it even more difficult to take care of her sick daughter. But while the film earned 76% on Rotten Tomatoes, that's his highest score he's been able to get there, the reviews are mixed, with some calling it one of Perry's best works and others saying it's not what Black people need right now. The debate played out on social media, with users divided on whether we need yet another film about struggling Black woman. One ex-user criticized Perry for capitalizing a Black woman's struggle. Let's look at this one here. The Salt of the Earth said, Tyler Perry knows how to get that bag. Make movies about single moms being some victims, and they'll watch that shit. His latest offering, Straw, is trash, like all his movies, but the women love that. I don't even know that we do. I think people like to see drama. People like to watch like things that are dramatic or whatever. I, for one, have been saying this for quite some time. I had my criticism about Divorce in the Black, which to me I thought was poorly written and poorly executed. No shade on Megan Good. Again, I think she carried that movie. You know what I mean? Like he'll have like a big name star in there that can carry it, but the script is trash. So I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't a fan of Mia Culpa. I'm like, Kelly Rowland is in this movie, and this is a cheap, whack script that you gave her. And I also wonder sometimes, what were the actresses? How do they feel? Like, did Taraji think this was a great script? Like, did Kelly Rowland think that Mia Culpa was a great script? Because I did not at all. I think that Tyler Perry needs to go back to his roots. I think that in order for him to produce another movie like Why Did I Get Married, I think he needs to produce less movies, focus less on quantity, and focus more on quality. I think that's what's happening here. Because the reality is, people would rather wait for a good quality movie than just watch all these. You're pushing out movie after movie after movie, and the quality is just not there. Right? That's what I think. Um, Katrina said, I completely agree with you, Sabby. Yeah, like I said, I think his movies were a little bit better earlier on. And I think you trying to do too much too fast, too soon. Like now it's like you have this contract with Netflix. So that probably means he has to produce a certain number of movies per year. And sometimes people have writer's block. I get writer's block sometimes. And if you're forced to produce and what are you producing, right? So quality is important. He goes on to say a TikTok star said it would be nice to see something else happening with Black women, but that's his niche and that's just what he's going with. As a mother and as a single mother, I feel like it was a little too much for me. So we'll see different opinions here. Flirty Plum Bob said, maybe I'm a tough critic, but Tyler Perry's straw was unrealistic and over dramatic. I did give it 5/10 at best, and that's only because Taraji P. Henson carried that movie on her back. I'd say watch Breaking 2022, which is based on a true story with the same exact plot. Okay, so that's one opinion there. I want you to hear what this woman said. Check this out.
Black women, and I'm not saying allegedly because the proof is in the pudding. It is becoming more evident that Tyler only sees Black women as hardworking, struggling rape victims that of course one day are going to be rescued by a blue-collared Black man. After watching the trailer of his latest film, Straw, starring Taraji P. Henson, I'm a little offended. And honestly, I'm still recovering from mea culpa. He has managed to make billions of dollars off the backs of Black female pain, and I'm sick of it. The media is a huge outlet for the insight of others. I partially blame the media for people's derogatory perspectives about Black women worldwide. I'm not talking about the Beyoncés and Oprahs and Kerry Washingtons of the world. I'm talking about normal, everyday Black women. It is dangerous to continue to depict us in such a lowbrow manner. Looking at you too, Issa Rae. One of them days, really? Where's our Legally Blonde? Where's our Pretty Woman? Well, maybe not Pretty Woman, but you know what I mean. Even in movies where we should be happy and preppy, like Bring It On, of course we have to be the mean Black bully cheerleaders. Do you know what type of message that's sending to everyone else? As a Black woman, I am tired of being showcased as a bottom of the barrel human being. Who's gonna tell Tyler Perry that the average Black woman is actually thriving now? We pay our bills are paid. Thank you. Black women.
Okay. And she said, we pay our bills are paid. And look, I get it. I get it that Tyler Perry wants to show a different perspective. I get that, right? Like he wanted to show a perspective of a single struggling mom. Okay. But how many times you going to show that, Tyler? Like we've seen that over and over again. Now, when people give him this criticism, he gets really defensive. He's like, yeah, I make those movies about a Black woman struggling because Black women struggle and I want people to see the struggle. We know. We get it. We get it. We got it. Good. Every movie ain't got to be about Black woman got to struggle. Every movie doesn't have to be that. People are tired of that. Tired. Really. Now, to her point, she mentioned Where's Our Legally Blonde? Like that type of movie. That's not just a Tyler Perry issue. That's a Hollywood issue. How often do you see romantic comedies where the lead is a Black female or a Black male? Usually romantic comedies are white female, white male. Usually that's typically how it's been. So we've talked about this before, right? We've heard this from Asian cultures. There have been, Asian Americans that said, how often do you see an Asian man as a romance interest? Right? So this is a Hollywood thing. Now, I bring this up because Tyler Perry was supposed to be something different. When Tyler Perry got his own studio, that was like a big deal. It's like, okay, well, now you'll get to see those types of characters played by different people. Like you'll get to see like Black women playing like the Legally Blonde role or something like that. Like you'll get to see those types of things. Nope, nope. Best he could do was Mia Copa. And that was just bad. It's just I'm like, dude, this is so bad. This one was really funny. Heated says Tyler Perry done made the same movie 69 times, but I'm still here watching. I don't. Oh my God. I love it. I'm sorry, but I love it. But again, if we go back to Straw, you know, again, don't want to give spoiler, but even all the things that happened to her in that one day, that is also over the top. He always has to take it to that extra like level. Like I don't know, a divorce in the Black at the very beginning. Come on, how realistic is it that this family is going to pull this guy out the casket while he's dead and all this stuff? Come on, man. It gives people the impression that this is who we are as Black people. And as an entertainer and as a writer, he has a right to write about what he wants. But he also has the right to be open to criticism. And he seems to get very defensive when people tell him we're tired of seeing the same thing over and over. Every time I see a new Tyler Perry movie appear on Netflix, I get, a little bit like, well, maybe this time it'll be different. No, not different. Really not. And so people just want to see something different. And you can have a Black female character play someone that's not a bitch, not struggling, not down and out. I think about the movie Temptation. What's the movie Temptation? Where the girl and the guy that they dated when they were teenagers and then they got married and all that stuff. And then she cheats on him with some executive dude or whatever. And then the next thing you know, she has AIDS or something. And then she's walking with a cripple and all. Like, how that happened that fast? That's what we're talking about. The over the top, you always got to take it to the point where it does not feel realistic. So I think it's just a money issue. Was it HIV? It was HIV. Sorry. And they Cloudness said, oh Lord. Like, it's just over the top. It's ridiculous. I still remember, and I'll bring this up, I still remember Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And even back then, I remember some of the dudes were like, so let me get this straight. The dark-skinned guy is the one who cheats on his wife and drags her out the house, abusive towards her. And then she gets rescued by pretty boy, light-skinned guy, Shamar Moore. I heard all that back then. I heard it. I understand. I get it. I just didn't think these things would continue. And it continued. So if you want to watch it, I mean, it's up to you. It's on Netflix. Like I said, Taraji, a phenomenal actress, lots of love, lots of energy. That movie is nothing without Taraji. I'll be very clear about that. And at the same time, two things can be true at once. It's time for Tyler Perry to tell a different story. Because when it gets to the point where your characters have become somewhat predictable, people start to lose interest. It's kind of like sex life. Like you got to spice it up sometimes, You can't be like, let's do the same position. You got to spice things up a little bit. Well, in film, I think he has to do that too. I think he has to spice things up a little bit. And that doesn't mean go over the top to the point where the story is not even realistic in people's minds. That's my take on it. That's kind of how I see it. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.